We're going to be talking today about what we called mid-segment in our triangles, right? So triangle mid-segment. So what I mean with that, with a triangle mid-segment, I'm talking about the segment right here in the middle. One thing that we need to know though is that my whole segment EF. So I want to focus my segment EF. Whole segment EF, W is going to be my midpoint. Notice how WF, I have it with the two slashes. WE, I have it with the two slashes. I'm indicating that W is the midpoint of the segment EF. At the same time, I see the segment ED, and V is going to be my midpoint. All right, so it is because it is created by midpoints, we're going to call this the mid segment. Okay, so now that I mentioned what a mid segment is, the mid segment, it is going to be parallel to another segment. In this case, WV, it's parallel to WD. I'm looking at two segments. So the mid segment is always going to be parallel to one of the sides. I am going to have X's in a bunch of places. The only statements that I'm going to use is going to be the mid segment and the side that is parallel to the mid segment. Now, I can tell they're not the same length. Right? The mid segment seems to be smaller than the side FD, but the way I'm going to work this, I'm going to say X plus 18. Let me write the mid segment, and let me multiply all this by 2. So the mid segment times 2, it is going to equal to, in this case, X plus 30. The mid segment, let me emphasize, I'm looking at this side, times 2 is going to equal to the side that is parallel to it. There's going to be x's in other places. I don't need those. I just included those just for you guys to, try to see if I can confuse you. But it's not that I want to confuse you. It's just that I want you to focus only on the mid segment in the side that is parallel to it. Okay. So now that I have this, I'm just going to treat it like an algebra question. Let me get rid of parentheses. Let me distribute the 2 to the inside. So I get 2x plus 36. It is equal to x plus 30. Right? I just got rid of parentheses. Let me separate my sides through the equal sign. Now what I want to do, I want to have the x's on one side and then the numbers that don't have an x on the other side. So this positive x, let me move it to this other side as a minus x. Every time I move something from one side to the other, I gotta switch the sign. And then this plus 36 on the left side, let me move it to the right as a minus 36. Notice I put letters on the left side and numbers on the right side. On the left, I have 2x minus 1x, so that is 1x. On the right side, I have 30 minus 36, that is negative 6. So the instructions were solve for x. Remember, solve for x basically means what's the value of x? I just found out that x equals negative 6. Now let's take a look at number 50. Focus on the mid segment. So my mid segment, let me emphasize, is this one right here. And then look at the segment that is at the side of the triangle that is parallel to this segment. So I'm looking at this one right here. The mid segment multiplied by 2. So let me just go 2x plus 26. And all of this I'm going to multiply by 2, right? The mid segment times 2 equals, in this case, x plus 22. I know some people might say, well, how do I know that 2x plus 26 is smaller than x plus 22 when 26 is bigger than 22 and then 2x is bigger than 1x? Why am I saying that 2x plus 26 is smaller than x plus 22? What I'm going to tell you in this case is don't look at the numbers. look at the length of the segments. At this point, you don't know if x is negative or positive. So don't look at the numbers, look at the length of the segments. The mid segment is always smaller than the side that is parallel to it. Okay, so now let's continue. Let me get rid of parentheses. Let me distribute the 2 to the inside of my parentheses. So I have 4x plus 52. It's equal to 1x plus 22. Again, let me separate them through the equal sign. I'm going to have letters on one side. So the positive x, let me move it to the left side as a minus x. And then this positive 52, let me move it to the other side as a minus 52. All right, don't forget to switch the signs. On the left side, I have 4x minus 1x. So that gives me 3x. On the right side, I have 22 minus 52. That gives me negative 30. Now, I don't have the x by itself. There's a 3 in front of the x. So let me divide both sides by 3. So that gives me that x is equal to negative 10. Right? Negative 30 divided by 3 is negative 10. There's the value of x. Remember, the way I'm working these is the mid-segment times 2 equals the side that is parallel to it. There's going to be measurements that you don't need. Here, number 50, this measurement I did not use. Only use the mid-segment and the side that is parallel to it.